Hey, what's up to everybody out there? Welcome to another edition of the Roundtable Talk, and I'm your host, C Money. And before we get started, I just want to make a correction about yesterday's videos. Um, Apparently, part one of my Atlanta City View did load. So if you go back, I updated part two, which was historical Kings Historic District, which I did when I visited the um, Martin Luther King's house, the Ebenezer Baptist Church, his gravesite, and surrounding areas. So, and part one was, the Centennial Olympic Park, Pemberton Park, where World of Coca-Cola, Civil and Human Rights Museum, and also Georgia Aquarium resides, which was downtown Atlanta. So, it's great. It's fun. Let's get right into it. Yes, it was yesterday. It was interesting. Today, I might be doing another video. This is one video, but I might be doing another one. Me and my friends were supposed to be going to a jazz festival that happens in Peatman Park, and I was told it's a great thing to do. And depending on how it is, I may do a video. I may not do a video. We'll see. I'm back at my hotel, as you can see. Just giving you an out view of Atlanta. This is a nice place. I was telling my friends because when I did my when I did my city view yesterday, I was like, I don't want to walk around East Point because there's nothing over here. Like a half a block from over here, there's a cemetery. There's a lot of restaurants on this way, and a lot of hotels because East Point we're near the airport. Like College Park is closest to the airport, then East Point is like the next city over or the next area over from College Park, and it's like a lot of the it's a busy weekend because apparently there's a 4th of July spectacular that's going to be happening here maybe on the 4th of July, but I won't be here. I'll be heading back to Miami. So basically, it is what it is. I've seen videos of where they talk about the 4th of July spectacular that happens and how it gets crowded and everything. A lot of the hotels are packed. When I checked into my hotel, I had already booked my hotel weeks ago, and when I checked in, it was people still calling. What's your rate for your hotels? Can I get a weekly rate? Or and it was like there's no rooms available and stuff like that, and a lot of these hotels are busy now, and we came to the conclusion it's 4th of July weekend, so basically that holiday weekends are going to get busy in certain cities, especially like Atlanta. 4th of July weekend, it's going to get busy. Down in South Florida, not much is that busy, but I'm quite sure it does get busy in certain, so Miami gets busy in certain weekends, like Memorial Weekend, New Year's weekend, things like that. But you have weekends like 4th of July weekend or stuff like that. They get busy in certain areas, in certain cities. 4th of July is a spectacular. New Year's is spectacular in certain cities. A lot of these cities, that mediocre cities like Atlanta. To me, Atlanta, gets popping in certain, times of the month, and so does Miami and a lot of this stuff. So you have to look at it as if, how, how it is. And like I said, Atlanta is a great place to come and visit. Live wise, it's okay, but everything to me is spaced out. Everything to me is like you got to go 30 minutes here, 20 minutes there, or 45 minutes here, up to an hour to get to here and stuff. We went to a private function last night, and we ended up, it was like way out of the way, and it was like maybe 30 minutes to get there and stuff. And I said, yeah, like in South Florida, it depending on where you're going. Like for South Florida, I'm gonna give you a reference. Now it'll take you a minute to get from maybe Miami Gardens to Homestead and stuff like that. It'll take you close to an hour because Homestead in Florida City is like the last two cities before you hit the 7 Mile bridge to go to Marathon and the Keys. So you can only imagine how that is. But like in the main part of Miami, Miami-Dade County, everything, you can 5 minutes you can probably be at a mall, 10 minutes you can probably be at the beach, depending on where you're at. and it's basically like everything is like in the air. You can go here, you can go here. You have like um, you may have like a bar right here and then a club right there. That's cool. But here it's like you gotta go out because most of all the hotels are near the College Park, East Park area. You have hotels in downtown Atlanta, but like most of the non inexpensive hotels, like where I'm at, they're closer to the airport. Then when you get closer to downtown Atlanta, you get more of the upscale, you know, hotels, the upscale hotel. Not necessarily upscale, but the hotels that are, like up to date. These hotels near the airport and stuff are like hotels that was from the 80s and the 90s. Then when you go downtown Atlanta, you get hotels that was built in the early, like in the mid 2000s. Hotels that you're paying $200-300 a night and stuff like that. Hotels near the airport, you're paying like $70-80, maybe $100 a night and stuff like that because it's all about the area. Downtown Atlanta. When I first came into when I first when I first came in 2019, I was looking up hotels in the downtown Atlanta area because I wanted to be where the action was. The Georgia Aquarium, World of Coca-Cola, the Kings Historical District, everything. I wanted to be where everything was. So basically, I was trying to find a hotel in downtown Atlanta, and the prices was like crazy. It was like they had these apartment settings type hotel. Like they have like places where you can rent like apartments and stuff like that. It was like $84, $90, $70 and stuff a night. But then they had like extra fees, like cleaning fees and all these extra fees and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, well, when you come down to it, you're damn paying $150, $200 a night, or, depending on the fees and stuff like that. You're going to be paying more than what you're getting for. Basically that's a lot of hotels because most of these hotels, like with this hotel that I'm in, I didn't have there wasn't no security deposit, but there are some hotels that do ask for a security deposit. And I understand what the security deposit is because these hotels, there's no smoking in the hotels, or they'll charge you $250. Star Island Resort, the resort that I did in my previous a couple of episodes down when I visited Orlando, they have where they have a $200 deposit, and that $200 deposit goes to basically anything that you do that's or you do any damage or anything, say out of the ordinary, it comes out of your deposit. And if you don't do anything, you get it back. And they have like where, if you smoke in your room, it's a $250 fee, and stuff like that because, you got to get a smoking room or whatever. Because most of these hotels have smoking and non-smoking. I pick non-smoking, basically I don't smoke. So basically what I need a smoking room for, and it's not like I'm going to invite anybody over that smokes. My friends, they're in their own hotel. I'm in my own hotel. I don't know too many people in the area. Well, I don't know nobody in the area, period. So it's not like I'm having somebody over and they're going to be smoking and stuff like that. So, it is what it is. And the only people I know that lives in Atlanta, I have a couple of friends that live in Atlanta, but don't necessarily know where they live at in Atlanta, just like I have family that lives in Atlanta and don't necessarily know where they live in Atlanta. So, stuff like that. Because like I said, Atlanta is spaced out, and it's like, most of the travelers stay near the airport area because a lot of them come in from the airport. Me, I traveled by bus, so and I like traveling by bus better than flying because you get the more scenic route. Like I was telling my friend yesterday when I was out exploring, this Atlanta city view, and you'll see it in my video when I was exploring Atlanta, downtown Atlanta. I was walking around and exploring Atlanta because I was more into exploring. Like you get a better view of the city by walking than driving. Because by walking, you can stop in this store, you can stop in that store, you can stop at this location. Like if you drive into the Kings Historical District, like I jumped on the streetcar from the Centennial Park, or the Olympic Centennial Park, and I jumped on the streetcar. That was my second time on the streetcar because back in 2019 I was on the streetcar. I rode the streetcar, and it was very nice riding the streetcar. A lot of people don't really ride it because the streetcar that they have here in Atlanta, it only goes in one continuous loop. It's not like there's several streetcars that go to different areas. It's like only one continuous loop. And basically, it's in the downtown area. You know, you go by Centennial Park, which is near the Pemberton Park. You go by King's Historical District, and and other surrounding areas. So it's not like for them they have streetcars that go into every other area. So you just have it in one container. So people ride it, and I like riding the streetcar. It was fun. It only costs you $1, and to me that's perfect. And because now these days public transportation costs is going up. Like I believe in Atlanta, one way fare is I think $2.50. In Miami, the fare is $2.25. In Atlanta, I think it's $2.50. And it's like you have to realize, okay, $1 for a streetcar, but then you gotta look at the streetcar. It only goes around in a continuous loop, so it runs every 15 minutes. So by the time you get off that trolley, that streetcar, it'll be back around in 15 minutes, unless there are two cars. I don't really know because there are probably two cars on the thing. But yeah, I always tell people it's better when you're walking to explore the city than just driving, because when you're driving, then you gotta stop, cut off your car, get out the car, walk over here, jump in the car, drive, get caught on your car, then drive away. But when you're walking, let's say you want to go see the Ebenezer Baptist Church. You stop at the Ebenezer Baptist Church, get out, you walk around, you go inside the church. Then you want to go see Dr. King, then you got to jump in your car, go down. But when you're walking, you can just walk and you can be like, okay, stop at Ebenezer's Church first, stop at the King's Memorial Burial Site, then we'll go to King's side. You're getting more of a city view. But when you're driving, you jump in your car, you go down 2 streets, you get out your car, and you see the burial site for King and Coretta. You jump in your car, you go down the block over, then you go to the house, you take pictures of the house, you jump in your car, you go down, you go see this place, you jump in your car. But it's like you're in and out of your car, in and out, in and out, in and out. But as walking, you're actually getting a more city view of everything. And that's what I like about it. When I left the King's place, I ended up jumping back on the trolley. No, I keep saying trolley, I'm sorry. Streetcar. And I ended back up. I didn't go back to Centennial Olympic Park. I went back to Peachtree Center, where I had to catch the MARTA train to come back to my hotel because it was like, late and it was getting dark. So, in Atlanta, I don't want to be out too late, because even though the transportation runs till about 1 from what I've seen on their site, but, I didn't want to be out too late from where I'm at, because, I want to, I didn't have food yet and ate yet. So I ended up getting a Chinese restaurant that's right here by my hotel, and by luck, they was closing like 30 to 40 minutes prior to me getting there. They was going to be closing. So I'm like, ooh, I made perfect timing. Because like I said, I'm the type of person that when I go visit another city, or if I go to another state, I want something different. I don't want to eat McDonald's and Burger King and all this stuff, because basically that's something that I feel you shouldn't have to eat on your trip, And granted, I did eat IHOP, and stuff like that. And I did have Arby's, but it's like you want something different than what you normally eat when you're back home. So it was that. Basically, because it's on thing. The one place that I didn't go see, because today is my last day. I'll be leaving tomorrow. I'll be leaving on the 4th, so I'll be leaving because I have to go back. I have priorities and things to do. I wanted to visit the Tyler Perry studios, but I didn't. I did know the station to get off to get the time, because they tell you when you're on the train, and that's the difference between certain areas. And like Miami, they don't tell you, like they have automated machine that say the next station is this station, the next station is this station, and it just tells you that. But the MARTA train system, they tell you the next station is this station, exit here for this and this and this. And then when I was on one of the stations, it was like exit here for Tyler Perry Studios. I was like, oh, Tyler Perry Studios. But by the time, I'm like, yeah, it would be too late to go, because it's already it was, the sun was coming down or whatever. So I say, okay, maybe my next trip in Atlanta, I'll come and I can see Tyler Perry Studios. My next trip, I'll do more of a theme park type thing. I have a friend that said they want to go to Six Flags, and I say I want to do Six Flags over Georgia, and I want to do Fun Spot up here. But Fun Spot is building an Air Force One coaster as we speak. So they're building because the Fun Spot Atlanta doesn't have a roller coaster, so they're building an Air Force One coaster. If you look on their website, so that will probably be completed within the next year or two. So that's something I want to check out. But I also want to check out Fun Spot for myself. But due to the fact that there is no public transportation that goes to Fun Spot, and due to the fact that Six Flags Over Georgia is way out of the way, because you have to go to, because Atlanta train system, they have like 4 or 5 lines of trains. They have two north and south trains and 2 east and west trains, and you have to get off at one of the last stops on the east and west side of the MARTA trains to jump on the bus to get to Six Flags. So I'm like, it's a lot of places, and then a lot of these places like Dave and Buster's and Main Event, which is similar to Dave and Buster's. They're all spaced out in other areas and stuff like that. And I'm like, this is like, everything's too far out, and then my friend was telling me they had functions in Marietta and Buckhead and Duluth and all that, and I'm like, yeah, a lot of these, and Lenox Mall, I wouldn't mind going to Lenox Mall, but that's further up the way, and I was like, yeah, because a lot of these places, are spaced out, because it's not like when South Florida, you got a mall in certain areas. Like there's a mall in North Miami, there's a mall in Aventura, there's a mall in Hialeah, there's a mall downtown. There's but here it's like there's not a mall in East Point. There may be a shopping center, but there's not a mall near the airport, from my understanding. So you have to go where everything's at, and downtown Atlanta is where it was. I was walking near the Mercedes-Benz Center and the I think it's the State Farm Arena, if I'm not mistaken. And there was, and that was kind of, to me, that was kind of, I was like, wow, because the Mercedes-Benz Stadium and the State Farm Arena is like right next to each other. Because, a lot of these places like Miami, the Hard Rock Stadium is in Miami Gardens, the American Airlines Arena, which is not an FTX arena, is in downtown Miami. And then you got several stadiums that's, they're all not like in downtown area. So, but in downtown Atlanta, most of the hot spaces are there, like the CNN building, the Fox Theater, Pemberton Park, where the Water Coca-Cola and everything is at, the Children's Museum, Centennial Olympic Park, the Skyview Atlanta. You got a lot of them that are downtown. And everything, most of the attractions is downtown. That's why I say I like it like that, where you can get majority of everything that is downtown. King Center is like the King's Historical District is a little bit on the outskirts of downtown Atlanta, but it's not like you got to go 30 or 40 minutes to get to the King's Historical District, because it's not as far, and everything. So basically, you're getting an understanding of, when you come to Atlanta and you go to downtown Atlanta, there's everything to do in downtown Atlanta. Like for downtown Miami, from where I'm at, yeah, you get a lot of, shopping places and a lot of restaurants and stuff, but it's not like you have a lot of fun things to do. Like you have a aquarium, like the Miami Sea Aquarium is on Key Biscayne, which is another 30 minutes or so to get there. The Zoo Miami, which is the zoo that's down further south, and you got, and then you got other parks and stuff like that are spaced out, even though Miami is like one continuous city, and it's quick to get to here and here and here, but a lot of the attractions are spaced out. And it's the same thing here with Atlanta. Like I said, Fun Spot is in Fayetteville, Georgia, and Six Flags Over Georgia is on the outskirts of Georgia, and like Dave and Buster's, and I say Main Event, those things. But the main things like Georgia Aquarium, the main things, in downtown Atlanta, there's more to do than going on the outskirts to like other theme parks. If you go downtown Atlanta, for most people, like, they'll want, for most people who like historical things, they'll go to the National Civil and Human Rights Museum, or if you're a drinking fan and like Coca-Cola, you go to the World of Coca-Cola. Or if you have kids, you can take them to see the sea creatures at the Georgia Aquarium, and stuff like that, and there's a lot of things to do. And then the Centennial Olympic Park, because of this, because of the Olympics that was here in '96 in Georgia, and it was like, it's great, it's fun. And then there's a lot of upscale hotels and a lot of restaurants that are downtown in downtown Atlanta. Downtown Atlanta is a tricky thing because before I did the actual episode of Atlanta View City Part 1, it took me close to 30 minutes or more walking just to get to Pemberton Place. And I was talking to my friend on the phone, and I was talking because they was back at their hotel, and they was like, "You should have invited me with you because I wouldn't mind doing a city view, like a city view walk, you know." And that's what I did because I said before I leave, I just didn't want to be, you know, because we was driving, you know, everywhere we was going. I was like, no, I just don't want to drive. I want to actually get out and walk. So, you know, I took the MARTA train, got off at Peachtree Center, and I was walking around. And it took me close to 30 minutes plus, like 30, 40 minutes to get to Pemberton Place, which is where Water, Coca-Cola, and Georgia Cream and all that there, because I was going down this street, going down that street, this street, that street, and it was kind of confusing because, you know, as me, I'm not from here, so I don't know anything. And I was using, you know, Google Maps, and it was like, by using Google Maps and then trying to maintain, I was going down this street, and I'm like, is it this street? Then you gotta turn down this street, now this is this street. And I was going in certain neighborhoods, and I was like, yeah, this don't look like you can get over here to what. And then I ended up near the, you know, that's how I ended up near the Mercedes-Benz Arena, Mercedes-Benz Stadium and State Farm Arena, where, you know, and then eventually I was like, okay, I have to be going in the right direction because I know Pemberton Place can't be far from Mercedes-Benz Stadium and State Farm Arena, you know, and stuff like that. So it's like, it gave me an understanding of where I'm at and what is it. So I was like, okay, I get when I'm going, you know. It's just that it's a hassle getting around downtown Atlanta because downtown Atlanta is like New York, you know. Downtown Miami, it's, you know, downtown Miami, down there in Miami, they have a lot of one-way streets, and Atlanta is like, their downtown is huge, and by you trying to find everything, you know, you got wall-to-wall places from here to there to there to there to there to there to there. And a lot of the colleges are downtown too, like Georgia State University. You know, there's a lot of colleges downtown as well too. Like downtown Miami, the only college that's downtown Miami is Miami-Dade College, and that only has like 3 or 4 buildings. Like Georgia State, they have like a whole ton of buildings. So for me, you like, and then there's a lot of businesses. There's a lot of high rises and hotels that's in downtown Miami. I mean, not downtown Miami. I'm sorry, downtown Atlanta. They have a lot of high rises and a lot of hotels, upscale hotels, and everything. So you got to pretty much see that downtown I keep saying downtown Miami. I'm sorry. Downtown Atlanta is the happening spot. But like for people like myself that really don't care for spending $200-300 a night, which I can, but I rather go where on the outskirts of Atlanta, where, you know, because to me, my thing is, and this is how I feel. I mean, y'all may take it as it is. If you don't, you know, if you don't agree, if you disagree, you can comment roundtable00 yahoo.com. You can email me. You can also comment at this page. To me, all hotels to me are the same. There are some hotels that the only amenities that I think that hotels can have that's more than anything is a kitchen. Because like Star Island Resort in Orlando, they have a kitchen and stuff like that. And there's several hotels like I've been to that have, you know, kitchens. And then there's some that say if you need utensils, you can go down there, you know, ask for utensils to cook and do all this other stuff. To me, my thing is all the hotels are the same. You know, you get a bed, you get a TV, you get a microwave, you get a refrigerator. You know, it's basically the same. You get a desk if you want to do your work on, like I have here. You get an extra table and stuff like that. So why would I want to pay the same $150 to $200 for a room that's going to be the same as the $70 and $80 room? It's just that they have cleaner facilities and nicer facilities, and they're upkeep and maintain their facilities. So I wouldn't want to pay a lot of money just to stay somewhere when it's basically the same as the $50 and $60 hotels or the $70 hotels. But I'm not saying go cheap and do something raggedy. I'm saying if you're going, let's say for instance, if you're going out of town as a vacation to enjoy yourself. Like Star Island, I love Star Island. You know, as you've seen in my video, it was the greatest place ever. You know, I've been to another hotel in Orlando, and it's just a regular, you know, hotel chain. Star Island is not a hotel chain. But I've always said when I come to Orlando, I need Star Island. I need Star Island. I need Star Island. So when I come here, I've been to several hotels. Well, this is my second time here, and this is my second hotel I've been to. And I look at it as if, here's what you got to know about the hotels. Number one, you need to know about the area of the hotels. Is it near anywhere you want to be, or is it near where it's convenient for you? Like, I'm in East Point. It's far from my bus station from where I came in at, but it's closer to where my friends are, and my friends, can come get me at ease, because you don't want to be living far out like Marietta or Buckhead, and your friends got to drive 30 minutes out to come get you, or they got to come and go through all this, because the function we ended up going to last night, it was all the way in a secluded area, and I mean, we was going out back streets and back roads and like dead end streets and stuff like that. And I was like, this is where you're in Georgia, and a lot of the homes, oh my God, I can tell I was in Georgia, because a lot of the homes that we was passing, you will see that they sit on hills, that you have to go up like a hill or so to get to these places. And I say, this is Georgia for real, because only Georgia has houses that sit on hills and houses that sit up where you have to walk up a hill, or it's a big steep, or and stuff like that. So I say, you're in Georgia, because this happens only in Georgia. You got to walk up a steep and stuff like that. So I could never, like, with my mom, because my mom is not, saying, just like myself, walking upstairs is, if you don't exercise much, walking upstairs take a toll on you. And with my mom is, not really prone to walking upstairs. So it'll be hard for you to walk up a steep every day. Every day you gotta walk up a steep, and it's like that's that's a lot. And I see that's how most of that's how, like, 70 to 80% of the houses here in Atlanta are. There you gotta walk up steeps, and they sit on hills and stuff like that. And I said, oh, I mean, this is Atlanta, this is Georgia, this is how Georgia is. Not just Atlanta, but Georgia period, because I've seen it in other parts of Georgia as you going inside, as you going into Georgia. So I'm like, this is what it is. And the thing about Georgia is, to me, it's a historical state, like Mississippi. Mississippi is a historical state, because they are in Florida. Like I say, Florida is basically the fun state. You go to Orlando for the theme parks. You go to Miami for the beaches. And stuff like that. And Fort Lauderdale and Palm Beach, you go for the beaches. It's the fun state. Georgia is the historical state. You go to Atlanta to see the King's House and see all the historical places that people come from Atlanta. You go to different parts of Georgia where, you see, like, Ray Charles came from Albany. You got a couple of celebrities that came from different cities, Savannah and, Valdosta. You go for the historical sites. And the same thing with Mississippi. Louisiana, New Orleans is the party state, because you go to Louisiana and Mardi Gras and stuff like that. New York is the busy state. You go for the experience of New York. You go for the experience of riding the subway, or going to Brooklyn or Queens, and you go for the Statue of Liberty. It's just for the feeling of it. California, just like Florida, you go for the beaches, you go for the sun, you go for the fun. So every state has its different, vibes to it. And like I said, Georgia is more of a historical, because when I visited Albany, I looked up Albany and I said, okay, who is from Albany? I looked at it as certain, Rick Ross went to Albany State University. I believe that's Albany State, if I'm not mistaken. Ray Charles is there, and they say there's a statue of Ray Charles in Albany, but I didn't see it when I was there. But there is things. So you go to these places and you look at these things, and then you see that a lot of these places are more of what they really are. Like I say, Florida is the fun traveling spot. Back in the days, it used to be the retirement state. Georgia is the historical state, because wherever you go in Georgia, there's history there. And the same thing with Mississippi and these other states and stuff. So and you go and you make the best of it. And I look at it as if I don't just come here to have fun. I come here to learn about my history, and I come here to learn about the history of my peoples, because my family is from Georgia. So this is the thing that we all do. So hey, make it what it is. Let me know what you think about this video, comment roundtable00@yahoo.com. You can also comment at the bottom of this page. You may or may not see a video later on. I may do one because, like I said, I am going out. And this is my last day in Atlanta. And I enjoyed myself. If you're from Atlanta and if you know some spots that will be good for me, let me know. Because my next trip, I would like to I did the King's, house and everything. And I went to King's Historical District. And I did it on my last trip. So I'm like, I really want to do something new. I didn't go to the Jimmy Carter Library, which I should have went to. I didn't go to I forgot the lady named Margaret, the one that created Gone with the Wind, her house and everything. So it was a lot of things that I didn't do that I should have did, but like I said, Georgia is spaced out, Atlanta is spaced out. So email me roundtable00@yahoo.com. Don't forget to comment at the bottom of this page. You see I'm representing Miami with my hat. This is the Roundtable Talk. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. Thank y'all for watching. Stay safe, stay strong, stay healthy, and I will see you in the next video, and have a nice day.